Hello humans, this is a Nerf Elite 2.0 Ranger PD5. It's a 5-shot blaster, carries 10 darts, 5 in the chamber and 5 on the rifle, as you can see there. It's got a retro feel about it and it fires one bullet at a time with a pump action. And it's a pretty nifty looking gun. I think it'll be customised well, and I'm going to be inspired by the steampunk movement. I'm going to start by covering up the logo, the Nerf logo. It's quite strongly embossed on the side of the gun on both sides, so I'm using milliput for that. Instead of sanding it back, I've decided to fill it in. And a lot of the screw holes on the one side are also being filled as well. Others I'm keeping because you either won't see them or I'm going to be utilising them for greeblies. So the milliput's nice and hard and it's looking pretty good right now. And I sanded off all the usual caution labelling and product info. Now it's time to give it a undercoat. Just to uniform everything. It's only had a light coat. You'll probably see certain areas where, like specifically the orange is still visible. That's okay. It'll be getting subsequent coats as well as the project continues. So I've gotten rid of all that blue and orange, just about. This is also the pump action grip, which I removed so I could get to the slide area underneath. And it's time to go and look through my Greeblies box to find bits and pieces that I want to stick to the gun to make it look more like a steampunk inspired weapon. And I found a looks like a lid off a salt shaker or something like that. A fork that might do well. And yes, some empty asthma spray bottles and another lid off something else like a yogurt squeezy or something. And there's got to be something else in here. Oh, some silicone tubing. Yeah, that might come in handy too. So first thing is going to situate these different greeblies that I found in different places, just gluing them on. And that's the handle for the fork. And then I've sprayed it again to give it that uniform look. So nothing's quite so obvious when it's a different colour to the gun. It all looks the same, so it looks like it belongs, like it was always there. Now I've sprayed it pretty much all over with black in a preparation for a chrome silver. It helps the silver look even more shiny, as you can see here. And I haven't bothered to spray it all over, just the areas that I pretty much want to keep as silver because I really don't like masking off. And now I'm doing an overcoat of some copper in areas that I want to contrast to the silver, to break up that silver and give it more points of interest. I think the copper complements the silver quite well. This required a couple of coats. I'm using Tamiya copper And I'm painting over a colour that I tried called bronze. It's way too dark for my liking, so I'm taking that out of certain parts. And here's a couple of empty asthma spray bottles and some tubing, join them together, and I'm going to stick them to the side. Decided to use the bronze on these parts of the gun just to break it up a bit more. Bronze is like a metallic brown. It's pretty unexciting, but it seems to complement the gun in other areas. And painting the grips and the trigger guard silver as well, just to have it all tie in. Handle grip I'm painting with a brown. These are all been Tamiya paints, Tamiya acrylics, just to break it up, make it more interesting to look at too. And now it's time for the weathering process, and I'm using the liquid black shoe polish approach. Again, just brushing it on and then wiping it off. And I'm just working in small segments at a time. Small sections, because I don't want the shoe polish to dry on me too much, make it harder to remove otherwise. It just grunges down the finish, makes it look more aged and used. And just watch those details pop as you do it too. So all the silver, well, practically the whole gun's going to get this treatment. Again, just doing it in small sections and wiping it off. Getting into all those little tight areas. Working the brush around, making sure it all gets pretty much the same sort of level of treatment. And then wiping it away. Going back in with a soft sponge scourer and hot water just to remove a bit more of the excess off, as it still looked a little bit too dirty for my liking. Now with a silver dry brush, just a bit of chrome paint lightly loaded onto the brush, and then some of it unloaded to make it almost dry, just going in and touching up areas, raised areas, to simulate scratches and scrapes. This all adds to the overall weathered effect. I sanded this back a little bit to the plastic so the super glue would adhere better. And this is just the cap off a sauce bottle. I'm gluing that to the gun. And these are test tubes, and I'm filling them with food coloured water, in this case yellow. Now I've got 6 of these to do, and they're going to add another feature to the gun. Decided to go back and use the blue as an inspiration that was originally on the gun. This is a metallic version of it, just to give it a little bit more of a contrast, and it all sort of ties in. there you have it. That's pretty much the gun, and now time for the reveal. So there you go, fellow humans. This is my Steampunk inspired Nerf Ranger with a few greeblies stuck on it and some tubing and my, what would you call it, nitroglycerin powered prototype. And it just makes it look so much more interesting. What do you think? Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, fellow humans. This is Retro Rocket Man. See you in the next one. Over and out.